The 15th anniversary of the Istanbul Cooperation Initiative was marked by the North Atlantic Council visit to Kuwait under the auspices of His Highness the Prime Minister Sheikh Sabah al-Khalid al-Hamad al-Mubarak al-Sabah at the NATO ICI Regional Center. President of the National Security Bureau, Sheikh Thamar Ali Sabah al-Salem Al-Sabah, on behalf of His Highness the Prime Minister, inaugurated the meeting that gathered esteemed ambassadors of the 29 NATO allies, ICI partners, and honorable dignitaries from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Sultanate of Oman to celebrate 15 years of the ICI's establishment. The event covered important milestones and marked the strength and collaborative union of the partnership. His Excellency NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg expressed gratitude for the Prime Minister's initiative in hosting this celebration and meeting in Kuwait, to the Honorable Security Bureau and all attendees for their dedication in consciously collaborating towards this valued effort. Inaugurating the event, Sheikh Thamar shared genuine words welcoming honorable attendees.
His Excellency Jens Stoltenberg, NATO Secretary-General, His Excellency Abdul Latif bin Rashid al-Zayani, Secretary-General of the Gulf Cooperation Council, Your Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of this celebration's patron, His Highness, the Prime Minister of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah al-Khalid al-Hamad al-Sabah, I'd like to welcome you to the State of Kuwait, home of the NATO ICI Regional Center, the place of our celebration today. Allow me to convey His Highness the Prime Minister's warmest regards to all those in attendance today, while wishing NATO, the ICI, and the Gulf Cooperation Council success and growth in the days to come. First and foremost, I'd like to extend our sincerest gratitude and appreciation to His Highness the Prime Minister of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah al-Khalid al-Hamad al-Sabah, for his gracious patronage of this distinguished event. His Highness has been in the past the driving force behind our relationship with NATO and will remain one of its staunchest supporters in the future. To that, we applaud his efforts and recognize once again his gracious patronage of this celebration.
As NATO allies share common interests, principles, and challenges, Kuwait, through its leadership and unequivocal humanitarian efforts in continuously initiating peace both proactively and in response to challenges, hosted the 15th ICI anniversary, which is celebrated on the 5th year. Among areas discussed in the comprehensive meeting, main industries and topics were training, energy, maritime security, cyber defense, civil emergency planning, standards, and more through commitment and cooperation. The 15th anniversary of Istanbul Cooperation Initiative celebration was a symbolic event that reflects the power of partnership, hosted by Kuwait that has been a valued contributor to the initiatives of NATO and a strategic partner. NATO Secretary-General expressed the essence of strength and achievement found through productive partnerships.
Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to the special interview with NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, who is on a visit here in Kuwait, marking the 15th anniversary of launching the Istanbul Cooperation Initiative that makes Kuwait an active member in NATO in addition to hosting the regional center of NATO.
It's a great honor for me to be here, and it has been a great privilege to be in Kuwait and to commemorate, to celebrate 15 years of cooperation between NATO allies and Kuwait and some of the other countries in the Gulf region. Of course, we are different countries, but we share many of the same challenges. We are faced with the same security threats, and therefore we need to work together. We need to strengthen our political cooperation, but also our practical cooperation. And it's also great to be here at this regional center, the NATO ICI Center in Kuwait, which demonstrates how we actually have been able to strengthen our both political and practical cooperation.
15 years have been passed since the launch of NATO's Istanbul Cooperation Initiative. During this period, what strategic goals have been achieved so far, and what are the futuristic perspectives that you have for NATO in the coming period?
Well, the most important thing we have achieved is that we have been able to bring countries in this region and NATO allies much closer together. So when we face the same challenges and the same threats, then of course just to try to develop a common understanding, a common situational awareness, a common analysis and assessments, that is extremely important. And through political meetings, political dialogue, engagement at all levels, from the heads of state and down to staff members, we have developed a much stronger political unity and common understanding. Second, we also work together on a lot of practical issues. This regional center here in Kuwait, which we inaugurated in 2017, is one example. Here we do training, seminars, education courses where people from the ICI countries, the Istanbul Cooperation Initiative countries, including Kuwait, NATO allies, participate. And by doing that, we increase our ability to work together. We share best practices, knowledge, and that's a practical cooperation which benefits both the countries in this region, but also, of course, the members of the NATO alliance. Then we have to address a wide range of issues, fighting terrorism, but also making sure that we have secure sea lines of safe sea lines of communications. Cyber attacks, cyber defense is an issue we need to, and we're actually working together. And what we call the military interoperability, that we are developing the ability for our forces to operate together in missions and operations. So we have achieved a lot, but the message from the meeting today is that we need to further strengthen our cooperation.
Your Excellency, Kuwait's foreign policy is keen on bolstering the principle of regional peace and security and respect for sovereignty of other states, as well as solving international conflicts through mediation. This is a principle of the state of Kuwait that has called for during its non-permanent membership in the United Nations. How do you describe the efforts exerted by the state of Kuwait in the United Nations, and how are these perspectives go along with the visions of NATO?
Kuwait is a country that plays an important role in many ways in different political and international processes, including as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. And we have followed and we have seen their very strong commitment to multilateral cooperation and also the idea of diplomacy, political dialogue as a way to solve disagreements, conflicts. We need to prevent military confrontation, therefore we need to strengthen our political and diplomatic efforts. And Kuwait has been very strong on this for a long time, and that's something which I would like to commend you for, because we all agree that we need to prevent conflict, we need to prevent military confrontation, and the best way of doing that is to pursue a diplomatic political path. And then we need countries like Kuwait, which is actually trying to do that by bringing countries together and trying to find political solutions.
The event delivered above and beyond expectation in providing the ideal venue and opportunity to engage in dialogue that both strengthens partnerships and brings a favorable environment for effective dialogue, demonstrating Kuwait's commitment in fulfillment of cohesion and NATO's unified determination towards global advancement, peace, and stability.